Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristin.
And this is So I'm Watching Interview with the Vampire, Season 1, Episode 6 and 7.
Like angels put in hell by God, and the thing lay still. I love it.
Okay, I really, really like this show. I do have a slightly hard time talking about it because you've already watched it. And I've seen the movie, so I'm aware.
I've seen the movie too.
Of what's.
I feel like that should be made perfectly clear.
No, I know, but it's like I'm aware of what's happening.
Sure.
And so usually some of the things that we're talking about in these conversations are the twists and turns, yada, yada. Having said that, there are elements to this that I'm not really sure what's going on. Mostly the Dubai stuff. And I have no idea.
We should start. We should in season 2 start doing the thing that we did for Stranger Things. So let's start in Dubai. Get the Dubai stuff taken care of first.
If I were to have a problem with this show, I think the problem that I'm having with it is that I appear to have a fundamental misunderstanding as to what a vampire is.
Sure.
I think I'm watching Sense8. And so anytime they go on a killing spree, it bums me out.
Sure. I think you think you're watching like Buffy. Where it's like we don't get a lot of sprees on Buffy. Because I was even going to say the Vampire Diaries, but we get some sprees on the Vampire
Vampire
Diaries.
Rooting for them to be this weird, quirky little family that has parties and...
No.
Yeah.
Lestat went too far a couple of times. And so that's basically Claudia's like, we can't keep living. Like, you are not doing good. I'm definitely not doing good. Like, we have to get...
What is Lestat's draw to Louie?
He's his maker.
No,
why is he drawn to Louie?
Yeah.
That I'm not 100% sure on.
Because they, in the first or second episode, he said something, it was very, love at first sight. Like, I saw you.
It was when he, held the knife to his brother. Because Paul was, making a scene outside the whorehouse. Yeah.
And so, I mean, is it honest? Is it as simple as that? Or I guess you can't answer the question.
Yes, I would imagine. But also, Lestat is sort of he's a kind of a bonkers narcissist. So it's also he just wants it to be the way he wants it. And when Louie is not immediately taking up the mantle of being a ruthless killer with him and having
Louie doesn't fall in line.
Exactly. And he's well, what the hell is this?
But also I feel like the fact that Louie doesn't just always fall in line is part of the appeal.
Yeah, but that's also that dichotomy with where men are oh, I love a quirky liberal arts major, and then it's once you get together they're okay, but get in the kitchen making me a sandwich. And it's what about anything that you've known about me up to now makes you think that that's going to work out?
But I just I think it's the fact that Louie will put up a fight is part of because he will do what Lestat wants, but not to a point of monotony or boredom.
Sure.
So I'm curious. I keep trying to find the good in Lestat, and I feel like it's going to be a lonely road.
I mean, he's an interesting character, but he's not a good person.
But maybe if he just is loved the right way.
No, because also you get when he comes back to them and is trying to get back in their good graces after 6 years apparently, and he talks about his maker Magnus, and he's well. He turned me or kidnapped me and then left me in a pit full of bodies.
I needed more.
We get more
from that.
I've seen some stuff about season 2 on the internet, and so we get more of that. So anyway, he's in a pit of bodies, all of men that look like me. And so I mean, he's fucked up. He's messed up.
Yeah, I also think that they take too much joy in.
Certainly,
the killing.
Certainly, Lestat and Claudia do,
and frankly, I can even be on board with vampires taking joy in killing, but it's it's really built up,
sure,
and it's more torturous than I think What exactly? Because I mean, this town, I don't know. I want to be this town has treated them well, kind of,
yeah,
and so this is their send off is
well. No, the town in that
that
regard, the
case,
town has not treated them
well.
well.
Okay,
and it's also like the guy.
I do like that, like some of the like townspeople, like
Yeah.
the cop, and then the
Tom
guy.
Anderson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do like that they were sort of through the whole season.
Yeah.
It because you could, having already said monotonous, you could get kind of redundant with this season, kind of doing the same thing over and over
Yeah.
again. And so I like how it like sprinkled in like the townspeople, and again, to say it again, my favorite part is how everyone kind of knows.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of whatever about it.
Yeah, I specifically think like
New Orleans is a place where you can get away with that.
Exactly. And so I think the thing with Tom Anderson and then the chief of police is that especially after they searched the house, they were like, well, fuck you. And then also everybody started leaving like voodoo stuff and like and also Catholic stuff on their. So they're like, we have to leave kind of like immediately because this is getting ridiculous.
Well, and they had the encyclopedia salesman, and then a guy like sought them out to find out their secret.
Because he had cancer.
And that's when Lestat was like, 2 in one night, we gotta go.
Yeah, that's enough.
I love how gay they were at the party.
Yeah. Super gay. The gasp from all of the like attendees, and then the one guy that was like leaving, and I was like, you haven't kissed your wife on the mouth in 10 years.
But I mean, Lestat is in full drag, so.
Well, I love that too, that he's like, he like insists that he's the king of the Mardi Gras parade, which is like, they're not wrong. That we are doing that years in advance. Which is super funny, and he gets it because they bought Tom Anderson a new ship, all this stuff. All of that was really great. I liked the fake out with Antoinette where you like think she's dead for a minute, and then you were pretty sure she wasn't, but like you think she's dead, and then you get back to her and she's not dead, and then another fake out where Lestat has turned her into a vampire as well.
I like how to triple whiplash with her because I liked Antoinette. I was kind of on her side, and there was a part of me that was wondering, because I know that Claudia acquires a like female companion. I was wondering if it was going to be her.
No, that happens once they're already in Europe.
Yeah. Well, sure, but I mean, this is different.
Well,
so I was kind of like, let's keep this character around. And so then when they were trying to get him to kill her, I was like, I don't know why. I keep being like, I'm like, I don't know. They're innocent. Like, leave the innocent people alone. But
I think part of the issue is that like we had a couple scenes with Antoinette, and it's almost like Lestat is like infecting her with his like badness because she's very dismissive of Louie and Claudia, and she's like, forget them, and you owe me what you told me you'd give me, and like all this.
So that's what I was gonna be like. I was gonna be like, oh man, I like Antoinette. I wish we were gonna keep her. And then I was like, oh sweet, we kept her. And then I was like, oh well, I don't like this. And then I was like, oh well, we're done with it. So I had like in 5 minutes an up and down. But it was good. It was fun. I like that. I still kind of feel like, I mean, if they're leaving, I was gonna say I still kind of feel like I wish we had kept a character or two to carry on over into the second season, because I guess we could see his sister, but I just sort of took to a lot of the characters, and by now it's like they're all kind of dismissed. You're gonna run into that when you're dealing with
also, I mean, if he's
immortal beings.
Yeah, if he's 61 or whatever he said, his sister is also older now. So I think one thing that you should keep in mind is that Louie is an unreliable narrator.
Okay, you've been hinting at that.
Yeah. I saw this one. So at the very end, he's like, because Rashid is Armand, the vampire.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't feel great about it. I didn't love it the first time, and it's not how I imagined Armand, which is fine. I think the actor is doing a fine job. But it's not really how I imagined him, because obviously
Brad Pitt and Antonio Banderas give us quite a place to.
But now you said it. So I am very interested to see what happens going forward. However, a while back I did see something on Tumblr.com, and it was like, imagine just the like dreary like hand holding, like making love that they do. And I was like, oh God, I fucking can't imagine spending 100 years of my life like that.
My kingdom for Lestat.
I know, right? So that's kind of like, I'm expecting some sort of subtextual stuff about Louis sort of like trying to convince himself that all he wants is this like really standard issue relationship that's just very like
I don't
even.
understand, but I don't understand what their deal, like, what is the game or what is the angle with Daniel? Why was Armand pretending to be human?
I can't decide if it was because he was trying to like make him not remember him from the 70s or what. I don't know the answer to that.
But even in the flashback, it was like he when he was like remembering the 70s, it was like a passing glimpse thingy.
Well, I think
to the
we
point where I was
haven't-
like, did that even? So we haven't actually seen.
I don't think we've gotten there because he was like, "I won't save your life this time." I like sometimes Louis makes bad decisions, and So I think we haven't seen that yet.
So let me put it that way. They could earn all of these things, and maybe I'm exactly where they want me. I mean, maybe they want us to be kind of off, like discombobulated with.
If I had to guess, the answer to that is yes.
I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt, and I'm truly hoping they're going somewhere with it, and it's not their attempt at padding out the story for episodic television.
I don't think so.
Because we dealt with that, I think, really badly in season 2 of American Gods.
Sure.
Where you could tell that they were doing jazz squares. Like you could tell that they were trying to waste time and or make it work.
Yeah.
And then by the time the 3rd season came around, they picked the plot back up, but it was too late.
Yeah.
I've said it a handful of times. The season 1 of American Gods is one of my favorite shows of like top 5 probably of all time. And season 2, I just don't think was very good. However, season 3 was better. So it's like a lot of people just hard quit after 2. And so part of me wants to be like, watch season 3, but just know that it'll get better and then be taken away from you. So some people are just like, I'm just going to quit while I'm ahead. Yeah. But, and again, it wasn't phenomenal, but it was better. Like they remembered Laura Moon had an arc.
Oh, God.
I'm just really enjoying it. Yeah. I'm really liking it.
One thing, we don't have Bailey Bass anymore.
Yeah.
She was only in season 1. There was something about scheduling conflicts. It was a little bit weird. Nobody knows exactly what happened, but it's a different actress in season 2. I have not heard anything bad about her. I just remember that Bailey Bass.
Well, and you haven't watched season 2, so
not,
when we get that, we'll both be in the same boat, which I think will be more exciting for us. I feel like there was a couple things. I like the vampire lore, because we talked about how he can fly and whether or not that's something that can be taught or how he acquired that. I think it's very interesting.
I just wanted to talk about how much I liked Claudia, how it seemed like Lestat was one step ahead, but it mimics the chess game that they were playing earlier, where it's like she just keeps sacrificing things and he can't see the bigger picture to the point where like...
Well, because he wouldn't sacrifice.
Exactly. Exactly. And so how it all just like works out in the end where she... And then, oh my God, when he's like gasping and she makes fun of him, she like mocks his... so funny. I loved every second of that.
Also, so all vampires can kind of hear each other, except for a maker can't hear their progeny.
Correct.
That's weird, but I mean, I'm fine with it.
Because Bruce could hear Louis calling out for Claudia.
But he also, like you said, you get the sense that kind of like Twilight, they also have
far away. So he could hear from far away. But Antoinette was in the same room.
But I stand by that. Like each vampire can kind of have their own unique strengths and weaknesses, which I always enjoy. I don't know. I just want these 2 crazy kids to make it work. And I feel like that's
that's what's happening.
But look at them.
Literally one of the only things I remember from reading the Armand book is that it does have finding Lestat in the swamp when he's all fucked up. But they because I think it happens in the movie too. Also, they shine the helicopter light and he thinks it's the sun, so he freaks out. Yeah.
Don't book readers not like Antonio Banderas as Armand? So maybe this is a more accurate Armand.
Book readers don't like Tom Cruise's Lestat.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like fine. I think his Lestat is fine. I maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is Armand. I don't know.
I think I remember hearing that like that whole the Italian vampires thing is different in the books than it is in the movie. So maybe we'll find out.
I don't know. I do. Stephen Rea is.
I was gonna say we're so like committed to the movie.
I do. I mean, I love this so much, and to me, it's like it's just a totally different.
It is. It's different enough that it like.
Because what else was there?
Mostly comparing just to have talking points.
Yeah. What else was like a movie or a TV show that was once a movie? I feel like recently that we did sort of the same thing where we were like, they just are such different.
Well, you were that. I don't think this is it, but you were like that with the Magicians, where you liked both the book and the show.
Yeah. Yeah. The book is such a different animal.
I think there was something recently. You're right, where we were like, well, this is really different, but it's
so good.
It's good, so we're fine with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of blown away because, like I said, it's the production values on it are
so good,
really good. Because, like I said, I mean, you get into, especially when you're dealing with period pieces and like, because remember there was that episode of Bly Manor where I kind of was like, oh, we phoned in this flashback with some Party City costumes.
I like that episode. Also, R.I.P. Party City.
Is it?
Bankrupt, yeah.
The world is cruel.
Yeah. A cruel mistress.
So, we had a great time. Like I said, we watched along. It's not a very active watch along, but we're probably going to continue because that's what we do.
I can't guarantee that just because Will watches it too. I can't guarantee watch alongs, but we'll for sure keep doing episodes.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
Bye.